sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Hamsolo, it's time, baby. Low, it's turn out we do. Hey. They said we said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go. We say that you heard right. 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 Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my penmanship. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you on red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you Red Fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Cut you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we in. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said go.
Yo, what's cracking? Hopefully you guys can hear me out there. Hopefully it's going all right. I'm here. I'm doing this damn thing right now, live on YouTube, just kicking it, talking about some of the stuff going on YouTube and not YouTube, on Twitter, on X and whatnot. Just thought I'd come through, have a good time, kick it. It's 5:30 a.m., Too Big says, in Hawaii right now. Well, welcome to the stream. Rise and shine, sucker. Time to throw some salt on that Misubi and get the crunching. Get the crunching on that, crunching on that spam, brother. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here, Too Big. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Anybody else that's stopping through, I appreciate all of y'all for show. But I just wanted to kick back, talk about some stuff, some gaming things going down on Twitter. Been getting a little bit bored, so I figured, have a little show. Maybe I might make it a usual thing, maybe not. Just kind of depends. Hopefully I can make it a usual thing. I see last Thursday I liked to be on the show. Maybe it's behind them sticks, kind of, making me feel like I should be doing something on Thursday, since I used to do that show every Thursday. But I don't know, something about Thursday, or I guess it's not even Thursday, it's Tuesday. It's not even Thursday, it's Tuesday. I'm out of my mind right now. But I can tell you that I'm ready to go on ahead and get it cracking right here. I'm ready to do something fun, have a good time, talk about some video games on TSWS Gaming, because that's what we're here to do, is talk gaming. So let's go on ahead and go through the damn thing. Zappo said, you do know Twitter exists a different reality, right? Twitter exists in a different reality. I mean, I guess. He says, bro, I'm construction worker. I'm out of the house by 4:45 a.m. You're out of your mind. I remember when I was a painter, I was not out of my house that damn early. But hey, y'all people in Hawaii do things differently. I was at the job by like 7, and if it was an early day, like 6:30, maybe 6, earliest. There was no 5:30 working time unless it was like a super special situation. But let me go on ahead and go through this, because I wanted to go through some of the stuff that I've seen that was kind of interesting. I even mocked a few of them. I thought they were kind of fun. But anyways, check this out right here. So let's go back to the last thing I was looking at. Okay, there we go. Colt Eastwood had a post up here saying Marvel's Rivals beta is pretty fun. mops the floor with Concord beta, and it's available on Xbox, PC, and PS5. What do you guys think about that? What's cracking, Nagina? Ray Chi, love to see you. Thanks for stopping through. He says, I love working for myself. Yeah. That's always a nice thing, getting that bread and not having to worry about nobody telling you what the fuck to do. I feel that. But I haven't played the Marvel's Rival beta. I'm not really like if you know me, I'm not really huge into Marvel. I'm never have been. I'm not gonna pretend to be because everybody else seems to love it. That's just not my jam. DC is more my jam, but even that, like I'm not like a super nerd, and I don't keep up with everything when it comes to that stuff. But it seems like a lot of people really like this Marvel Rivals beta, and I think I'm gonna give you my personal thought on why I think people like the Marvel's Rival more than Concord. All right. So Marvel Rival is in beta right now. Concord was in beta not long ago, if you're unaware of that. And I played quite a bit of Concord. Like, I actually enjoyed it. I shouldn't say I played quite a bit. I played a few hours. Like, I'd say at least about 3 hours worth of Concord. I'd say, hopefully. Several matches, I know that for sure, and on different days, and I had a good time. I thought some of the characters were kind of weird. Their moves and everything seemed pretty smooth and everything. It felt slow, unfortunately. It felt pretty damn slow. If you want to see what that actually looks like, I got it on this. Like you're seeing right here. This is the Marvel beta right here. I got Concord that I can throw up on the screen here in just a second. Let me see if I can find that, just so you guys can see what it kind of looks like. Whew, I need to delete some games. My disc is getting a little cooked. Let's see. PS5 video clips, Concord beta. I mean, might I add, I'm not like the best at these kind of games because I don't even fuck with these kind of games really. Like, to be real. But like, let's check this out just for a little bit. Like, this is the Concord beta. This is me playing it. I thought it was a pretty good time. It was like I'm also using a really slow character, but like even with a faster character, it felt really slow. Like it felt like that's me on full sprint right there. And I understand I'm using a big character, right? But it just felt like let me go to a different. Let me go to a different character, possibly. A character I didn't do too hot with. All right. So, let's see. So I used her, this crusty ass grandma right here, right? It like I think it might be the FOV is just because they don't have a FOV slider in the game. But it just to me, it just felt a little sluggish, a little slow. But that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I still had a good time with the game. I wasn't good by any means, but it seemed fun. But let me go back to like my whole point behind all this, because now you see this, and maybe it's the third person in this, because like I said, maybe it's the FOV that made it feel like it was slow in Concord. But I also think that this game just strictly is doing really good because people know who the fuck they're using and who fuck they're playing with and shit like that. Like, when you say Venom, You know who it is. I couldn't tell you one name of any of the motherfuckers on Concord right now. And I played the game. And I don't know not one name of any of the characters. But I could tell you about 5 of the characters. At least. I mean, and that's being, very, very generous. At least I could tell you 5 characters off the top of my head. Hulk. Yeah, we got Hulk. We got Venom. We got like a Captain like Captain Marvel. You got Spider-Man, and I'm assuming you got like Wolverine or something like that up in this motherfucker. Or I don't know. I'm just naming off Marvel characters at this point. I don't even know exactly. I don't really care either because this isn't my kind of game. But what I'm saying is people can get like some sort of, attraction just based off of knowing that IP versus not knowing a goddamn thing about Concord. And then it has this like weird idea of no story. Which is which is fine, I guess. Or I mean, it has a story, right? Like, man, I'm getting confused. The game itself is confusing, and it's hard to sell to somebody. It has a story, but you gotta play online, right? You play on. I mean, how many games do you see not work out because it has something like that, where the story goes based off of it being online? And then we're seeing all these games die from trying to be online all the time. I mean, we're already forgetting about this last February with fucking Bubble Fight. Do we remember that game? Bubble Fight. Foam Stars. Lemon called it Bubble Fight. Now I've been calling it Bubble Fight ever since. But that game is dead. I mean, let's have some fun real quick. Let's have some fun real quick. Let's go to Twitch. And let's look up Foam Stars. There it is, right there. I looked it up not that long ago, and it was tragic. Look at that. There's 2 people playing Foam Stars right now, and only 3 viewers watching total. I mean, let's click on one just for the hell of it. I'm sorry. Get me out of here. I don't want to hear or see that no more. I don't want to hear or see that no more. That game is dead. Let me go back to the chat and see what's cracking. I appreciate some of y'all for, or all of y'all for rolling through and whatnot. Thanks for keeping the chat right now, live and live in color. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button yet. Share this out. Let everybody else know that we are live. I didn't even share it out my damn self. Like, let me do that real quick. What am I doing? I didn't even share out my own damn stream. I don't think a damn, like, this is what it is. Let me share my shit out. All right, cool. But yeah, let me go back through the chat and see what the hell y'all talking about. So, Vincent Vega says, let's shovel some salt. The Gina says, I'm doing okay, still hurting after falling over yesterday and now have a cold on top of that. That sucks. Sorry. Hopefully you feel better from your cold, brother, because it's never good to not feel very good, right? Sapo says, look at the character in Rivals, even if they weren't known to us as Avengers or X-Men, they look a hell of a lot more appealing than that's a very good point. Yo, I was talking with Oshis, like if you guys were here yesterday, I was talking with Oshis, Loke, and Taye, and we had our Monday show or whatnot, and Oshis was really going in on like appeal for characters in video games, and like he was specifically talking about Flintlock, right? And how Flintlock is just like very unappealing, and just based off of the looks alone, something like Stellar Blade was very appealing to him to play. And I mean, I think the easy thing to go for this day is being like perv, or you only like them because they're sexy, or yada yada yada. I mean, I think that's the easy way to go. But like, let's keep it a buck. Like we're like when we go into the bar, we go with what's attractive, what's sexy, what's nice to us when we're going to court somebody, right? When we're going to go holler at somebody, when we're trying to get them digits, right? We don't go for just right? Like we try to do what is attractive to us. That's different for everybody, right? I'm not saying like attraction is a specific thing. Like everybody is attracted to something else, right? Some people are attracted to fucking feet. It's weird. But what I'm trying to say is like when you go in somewhere, you go for something that you find appealing for yourself, right? So I don't see where he's very wrong with that. And Sapo, I totally see what you're saying. Like when I was looking at the characters in Concord, it's not that they didn't look bad or they looked graphically messy or anything like that. I thought the graphics in Concord were good. And like I said, I even enjoyed playing the game. But I didn't know what they were like. If they were trying to appeal to somebody, I don't know who that was for. I don't know who they were appealing to. Damn sure wasn't me. I mean, I thought I was cracking up over the big chick with the minigun and whatnot, because she just was like a big old grandmammy looking motherfucker, right? Like she looked like she was like, come on, son, come get you some. Like, oh, like I was, every time I played with her, I had to mock her. I thought that shit was so funny. Concord, fun game to me, but I see why it's failing. And I'm not really that mad about it failing, if I'm being real. I thought it was fun, but would I buy it? No. I wouldn't spend $10 on that game. Why? Because it's too dependent. It's too dependent on everybody else being around for you to go through the story. Even if Marvel Rivals had a story, I don't think much people would really give a fuck about it. I think the lore people would really get into it, but I think a lot of people are just trying to fucking play a game when they got time. Right? J-Rock, what's cracking? Thanks for stopping through, brother. Make sure you hit that like button, share this out. But real shit, like I 100% see why Concord isn't it. We all called it when we first seen it. We all called Concord when we first seen it. We're just like, I don't know what this is. I mean, to me, I put it like this. Let me go on ahead and go to my profile and show you guys what I said about it. Because I took a screen capture of what Cold Eastwood said, of course. And I put simply, the way they rolled out Concourse was the worst kept secret in the last year from Sony. It was. Why the hell did y'all keep this a secret? We thought it was a fucking burger game for a year. We seen a burger flopping around, right? In the trailer, y'all motherfuckers talking about hot sauce. What are y'all trying to do? Who is y'all's target? Talking about what kind of culture, what kind of thought process were you guys doing? Having weird ass aliens that look like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, people that look they don't even look like the same damn species. Even if this is a human and another human, they look like totally different species, damn near. And what was up with all the food talk within the trailer itself? Like what the fuck are we building? Like what are we getting ready for? Is this overcooked? Like what are we the supplier? Like what? Like what's this package that we're sending? I just didn't really get it. And I still don't get it. And I don't think there's a whole lot of interest for me to get it. Like, even if they came out with this game, right, and it was free to play, I would play it, but I don't think I'm going to YouTube to look at the story or figure out the lore of it or try to understand it or get on the developer's vision sense or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I ain't with that. Like, Concord was not that kind of game to me. When I seen it come out, I was hoping it was going to be maybe some sort of like First Descendant type of shit, right? Where maybe it's you versus other people. Maybe they have like a Crucible type of thing, right? But I was hoping that it would be like me and my squad going to go complete shit to figure out, you know, what a co-op game used to be. And I feel like a lot of developers forgot what the fuck a co-op game is supposed to do. Or forgot how to make a solid, fun co-op game that you can play loop by loop by loop by loop over and over and over. I really thought this was going to be something very Destiny-ish, but with a little bit more fun. Wouldn't that have been nice? Something Destiny-ish, but a little bit more grounded, a little bit more realistic, a little bit more, you know, less serious, easier to understand. But nah, it's fucking Overwatch with a story that nobody cares about. And less appealing characters, as Sappho said. Let's go on ahead and read a little bit more. So the game, it says, okay, that's ridiculously slow. Yes, the game was ridiculously slow. I'm telling you. Rachie says it looks way faster than the Spartans on Halo Infinite. Oh no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, I have to firmly disagree with you on that. I have to firmly disagree with you on that. Because, I mean, no. Sappho says, my biggest problem with Concord is why? Why are there people shouting at one another? Why do you get off? Oh, what do you get off? We win or we lose. The whole what's the whole point? Seriously, like, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. I didn't really understand it when I was playing it. You're right. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I don't even know what I won when I won. And it's probably my fault for not really paying close attention, but it wasn't like alarms and bells going off. There was not like flare on the screen for it to be like, hey, you kicked ass right here. Great job. This is what you deserve. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too far into that specific part. But I personally just didn't really. Yeah. It just wasn't like. You bring a good point, because now that you say that, I'm wondering, what did I even win throughout playing those games? That's interesting. Great point. Great point, Sapo. No, we are not streaming Foam Stars, Rachel. You can forget about it. The Gina says, I played 2 games of Foam Stars. That was enough. Sapo says that's another game that shouldn't have been released. Richie says the game is fun, but the problem is the game lasts 5 to 7 minutes and takes 4 minutes to enter a match. So half of the time you were waiting, and this wasn't because the lack of players. Okay, so I don't know though. My personal opinion, I just don't think the game is good. Because I remember back in the day, and sure, you can blame it on the internet and stuff like that, but I remember waiting like crazy back in the day to play like something like Halo, right? Sometimes I was waiting 15 minutes to get into one match. 15, 20, 30 minutes when it was terrible. Me and the friends would just have to drink beer and hang out and just let it fucking go. I'm talking like 360 days, right? If the game's good enough, people will stick around, even if there is some wonk, some jank, some fuckery with it. Remember fucking not that long ago with Helldivers 2, before they screwed themselves over, they had plenty of jank and people were still buying their crap trying to get in because the game was so dope. It was so on fire, right? Foam Stars never had a moment of that type of success remotely. It was like trying to light a wet candle. Like that game was not getting lit at all. And I feel like Concord will be the same thing. Because, I mean, say, Rachel, you said you kind of like the game, right? You kind of like Foam Stars, sure. Sure, maybe you kind of like. I kind of like Concord, too. I kind of liked it, but I ain't throwing money at it. There's plenty of other stuff to play that I like more that either costs less or is completely free. So just going for that is just not the best idea. I'm not about it. Not going to do it. Let me read a couple more of these comments, and then let's go on ahead and move on from this. Richie said, I tried Flintlock and the aesthetic and lore didn't catch me at all. Still Rising didn't catch my eyes. I'm playing has a clockwork automation. Okay. Or automaton. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Let's see. Yeah, I said screw that. I said screw that, J-Rock. You are absolutely right. Let's go on ahead and move on. I'm done with this shit. I am done with this shit. All right, so y'all see that what's that called? Call of Duty. Call of Duty over here outselling, or not outselling, but well, I'm sure it's outselling. But let's see, Call of Duty. Y'all see the Call of Duty news? Where is it at? They said 28 minutes ago. It says Call of Duty's already This person says number 3. I heard somebody say it was number 1 right now. Trying to figure that out if it's number 3. You see, they got Rhea Ripley in the game, man. This Call of Duty is crazy, bro. They got all sorts of people in their game. Fuck whoever buys Groot, though. Those Groot skins are ridiculous. Let me see. Fuck it, let's go back home. I feel like I'll see it if I scroll down just a little bit. Oh, there's J-Rock right here. Saying now they hyping up controllers. So, perfect. I ran into what Oshus was talking about. This is what I was talking about earlier. And this is what Sapo was kind of going at earlier. Talking about like appeal in games, right? If you ask me, none of these, like none of them are, I mean, I would say like if I was picking personal attraction, if I was being that guy right now, like I'm gonna go ahead and be that guy. I'm wondering what she's all about. Of course, Andrea's pretty fine. I mean, she need to take a bath, and then maybe, but she's wild. So it's a high possible no. But maybe after a bath. I don't see anything wrong. I mean, everybody making fun of old Joanna Dark. I mean, she do kind of got a strong chin. But like, I ain't tripping. I mean, South of Midnight, I mean, that's just too claymation. I can't even take that serious like that. We talking about Fable now? Fable? Probably not. That's a little scary. I mean, you catch me fucked up at the bar, I don't know, maybe. 6, 7 too many meads. I don't know. Possibly. Maybe back when she was thinner. Not old Brick House, though. I ain't fucking with the Brick House. Back when she was thinner, sure. Ellie or not? Ellie. She's wild, but I don't know. She's a little. I still see her as a little kid, so I can't even really do that. Right? I mean, it just seems weird, even thinking of something like that. Especially after watching the TV series, like I can't even think of her as an adult. And would I? It just sounds fucking weird. This motherfucker right here is what I'm talking about. Right? Like, nah. This is that real deep voice from the South. Finna give you some Southern comfort. Like that's that motherfucker right there that I'm talking about. Some scary shit. And then she just looks too military for me. I'm all set. I don't even want to get started on Mary J. Forget it. Just forget about it. And Aloy, like, she has like feminine features, and then she really doesn't. The face that she's making right here is very unattractive, personally. I don't think she's like the most unattractive character, though. I think she's the most uninspiring character. If it was between Aloy and fucking Pancake Patty right here, then I'd have to go with Aloy. Got it. Let me see what y'all talking about. Rachie says the perfect dark woman is the most appealing to me in this group. The Gina, you need to relax. Saying Ham, staring at Senua. I can fix it. Hey, I mean, hey, man, just toss her ass in the tub. Throw some Dawn, because that fixes motherfuckers even from the ocean and oil rigs and shit. And I don't know, just give her a loofah and just tell her to fight. Just fight yourself with the loofah. I think she could clean herself up. I think I don't think she'd be too bad. I mean, obviously Melissa or Melina Jurgens, I believe is the actor's name. She's a pretty woman. She is real talk, real life. The woman, yes, she is. She's beautiful. But we're talking about the video game character, and I'm saying you need to get your ass in the tub. But yeah, let's see. Richie says Senua is okay, but her simping towards her slaver is a bit weird. Yay, man. I mean, hey, that's not my problem. He then goes on to say they didn't put Kat and the girl from Recore. Yeah, exactly. You talking about Ellie? Yeah, I seen her grow. I could never see her like that. Yeah, sometimes like I think that's weird, right? Like you see somebody as a little kid, and you was an adult, and then they an adult finally, and then you now that doesn't that just sound wrong? Like I can't do that. Like that's why like you talking about attraction. I can't look at Ellie like that, man. I felt like a dad when I was Joel. I felt like a dad. I felt like her father when I was Joel. I can't get attracted to her now. Forget it. What's cracking, Day Reezy? Good to see ya. Day Reezy. Good to see ya. Mishi, what's cracking? Senua being part of a Don commercial. Yeah, they need to scrub that motherfucker down. I swear they would sell more Dawn and more Hellblade if they collabed with a commercial showing her cleaning the nastiness from from Iceland off of her body. Like real shit. That shit is. I mean, just look at her. I can see the dirt on her face from here. I can see the dirt on Senua's face from here. If you asking me to pick her up, I'm picking her up and dropping her into the tub. That's what I'm telling you. That's what it do. What's cracking, Infinite Umbra? You said you can't stay, unfortunately, as it is podcast time for me as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah, you going over to Booms, I believe, right? I think you going to Booms right now. Shout out to Boom. Tell Boom I said what's cracking. Tell Boom I said what's cracking. The Gina says Concord got to compete with Overwatch characters, and we know how popular the female characters are online. Facts. What's that one chick's name? The short hair one, right? Oh, we all know who I'm talking about. So Oshus came through. This is his shout out to Oshus in the chat. This is his post on Twitter. If you don't follow Oshus on Twitter, there it is right there. Thinking about unfollowing him now. But before I do, I'm gonna use this sucker's tweet for a little while longer, all right? Let's see. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these characters, like, I see what you're saying. If you're trying to drive, and this is where I agreed with Oshus the other day. If you're trying to drive attraction to a game, you're trying to sell a product, right? You got to make the product, I mean, lack for a better term, as attractive as possible. You're trying to sell a story. Maybe attraction isn't the head of it. Sure. But it better be a damn good story. It better be a damn good story. It better make sense as to why I have to look at this person this way this long. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what sells. People will buy things that they think look good, regardless of how cautious they tell you they are of feelings. Oh, I'm all about the personality. How many people do you see really actually following through with the personality aspect? Just saying. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm just saying majority of us are attracted by what we see on the cover of something, and then we indulge a little further to see if it's worth the time for sticking around. We don't walk up and say, man, I'm not really into this that much, but let me try anyways. Like, how often have you walked up to either it is a man or a woman or just a person that you're trying to court for whatever reason, a job application, a restaurant that you went into? When's the last time that you looked at something that you knew that you liked on the menu and then scrolled down to the middle and said, you know what? Let's see how it goes. Nobody is doing that. Nobody is doing that. Now, once you've had your fill with your favorite things, now we're starting to talk about backlog kind of ideas and thought processes, right? We're thinking, well, I'm not willing. I might not make the best decision every day, or maybe my decision's a little fucked up because I drank some liquor or something like that. Or, maybe I'm in a tight pinch budget wise, right? we make different decisions based on the situations that we're in, right? We do. We make accommodations. I'm in a bad spot money-wise right now. This date is going to McDonald's. And I don't think I'm asking the Instagram model to go on the date because she probably doesn't want McDonald's. I may give it a try, but I'm very likely to fail. And that's just the reality of it. But this girl that just hangs out with her cats all day, she looks like she's just kind of bored. I think she wouldn't mind it. Oh, we got a tie that popped in here as well. Let me see what some more of the chat has to say. And see, I understand the whole idea of like inclusion and everybody and whatnot, but we already know that everybody ain't for everybody. We see it every day in the news, right? Nobody gets along, right? Nobody does, right? So trying to force everybody to like something that most people don't enjoy is kind of screams insanity. But like I could see why like people are trying to say, hey, this could be included, that can be included. And I don't think none of us is saying, hey, you can't do this. I think we're all just saying make it make sense. Make it make sense compared like this product versus this product, right? Make it make sense. Kind of like the Marvel's Rivals versus Concord conversation that we just had. Make it make sense. Why would I want to get this game that I don't know any of the characters? The story seems like it just doesn't make any sense so far. And there's a $40 charge to get into this party compared to the free one where I know everybody in it. And I'm you see what I'm saying? Like the choices that you're gonna make are gonna be based off of A, what's good for you, B, also what may be popular and keeping it sustainable. There's a lot of elements that go into like people making what seems like a simple decision. But let's go to what some of you guys have been saying here. So let's see. Sappho says, imagine if there wasn't a imagine if it wasn't there, DF would make their whole video about isn't she dirty or wet? Wow. That's something to say. Richie says Xbox is spreading to release all of those female protagonists. Yeah, the Gina says Tracer. Yes, that's the person I was talking about, actually. Saw a girl dressed as her in real life once, was ready to risk it all. Damn. Must have been rocking it right. Asha says laughing my ass off. Rachie says the plot. The Gina, the famous marketing slogan, sex sells, games developers seem to have forgotten this and think people who look ugly are who we want to cheer for. That is very blunt, the Gina, of you to say. That is a very blunt thing for you to say, but I think it is just kind of being honest. I mean, I know that people hate honesty today. I know it. People don't like the honest truth of why just something ain't working or something ain't happening. And they will just keep beating your ear in or telling you something that makes sense from their perspective, but doesn't make sense to 99.9% of people, or to a good amount of people, I should say. Yeah. But Asha says physical attraction exists for a reason. I'm just saying. Taye, and I'm excited to read all this. I haven't read any of it yet, but he says a couple in a couple comments, he says, I think this is a case of you can't have your cake and eat it. As soon as they decided to be more cautious, including more Black, Asian people, women were always going to get this treatment. People can be angry at Marvel for being diverse and woke, but then you have to be consistent and go at them for including Black Panther, Shang-Chi, Miss Marvel, and Ironheart. I mean, you bring an interesting point. Before I go to you, Sapo, I just want to talk about this a little bit. You bring an interesting point because it's just like you're trying to make more inclusion, but I feel like maybe it could be Tae, would you maybe think that this is possibly a pacing problem that could be happening? Do you think it could be maybe like, yo, like we wanted more inclusion for people, so we just included everybody at once? And I'm not even saying that's like, ideally that's a like ethically that's a good thing, right? And I think ethically that's a good thing. But as for like the readiness of the world or even just a country to be accepting so quickly, and then you're got and then the argument is well, how much time are we gonna wait, right? Because we're not just you're not gonna form a single file line and say this is the acceptance line, right? This is you getting accepted. Let's see, like, people with these needs, people with that look like this, people that wear their clothes like that, or transition to this or whatever. Like, there is no line that you could make for this stuff to be like, all right, like we'll get you approved by everybody by 2026. Like, there isn't any of that. But do you think possibly, like, do you think reality is just a little too much for people to accept? I think that's what it is. They know, like we all know what we want to see, but we all also know what's really there. We all know what we want to see, but we all know what's really there. Let me move on to Sappho. Sappho says, but inclusion was weaponized to speak out against DEI and SBI. When inclusion actually reflects the real world, you can't go anywhere in real life without seeing someone who's different from you. And the craziest thing that's ever come to this form of entertainment is a term floating around: conservative gaming. Like, what the F is that? And the issue about the MCU people seriously believe they're sitting in a boardroom making this making up this stuff. Absolutely. Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. Like I feel like there is people. I feel like there are maybe some people, like maybe I'm hearing you. I'm not sure if I'm hearing you right or wrong here, but I feel like there are some people within the boardroom that are like, hey, don't forget, we need to, have a little bit of that. I think there definitely is some people in the boardroom that say stuff like that. Like, like let's include this. Got to make sure we got that. And I agree. I still agree with Loke in the sense of, hey, we kind of need something like that. I completely think we kind of need something like that in the background. But like changing the story because of it is where I gotta be like, all right, let's relax. Because I feel like we all came for the story, not the real world situation that's attached to the character to that character's like if they had a mission, we came to see you complete that mission, not a side story of something else. Like like it's the same thing that we think of, like where we talked about for a long time yesterday on our show, was like when, like, I like the show Halo, but a lot of people went to go see Halo to see Chief. You didn't see a whole lot of Chief. That's the reality of it. I love the show. I'd watch it again if my wife said that she wanted to watch it tonight. I'd watch it. No problem. But Chief was pretty vacant for too much of that show. Too much of that show dove into, what's going on with her. How do they feel? And for me, and I feel like many others, all we wanted to see is Chief unloading clips. I mean, like, that's all we wanted to see is Chief unloading clips. But instead, we seen Tender Heart in Halo, Tender Love in Halo, or so whatever you want to call it. It wasn't the best it could be. It was good, but it wasn't the best it could be. I think that's the best way to put it. For me, at least. Asha says, LOL, that is factually incorrect. 70% of the world isn't culturally diverse. Most people see people that look like them 9 out of 10 times, unless you live in a specific hub like New York or London. I'm not sure if I completely agree with all of that. I feel like the world's a lot more diverse than you think it is. There's always people that say, I didn't know black people lived in Nebraska, or I didn't know, y'all had them folks out in Iowa, or something's wild, right? So like, I go when I go out here in Des Moines. Keep in mind, I live in Iowa. Okay, there isn't a lot of black people, but there is definitely. But I'm not surprised when I see a lot of black people. You see what I'm saying? There's not like a majority of black people at all, but there is a lot. There is a good amount. There isn't. It's not half by any means, but it's fair enough to say that whenever I leave my home, I'm not just gonna see a white person. I'm gonna see all sorts of different people. It's safe to say that. Just going right up the road to my gas station, I might see like 3 different races. Like, it's not that, but that's here in America. But I'm just trying to tell you, like, hey, Iowa would be looked at as a predominantly white place, right? which it is, but I'm still gonna see many other races when not far when I walk out of the door. I am. As for what it is in other countries, I don't know. As for what it is in even Idaho, I don't know. But I know here in Iowa, it's like that. Let's see. Sappho says it's already been done because they're pulling this content out of the comics. Okay. The Gina says so many games flopped now for going so heavy on trying to tell us what we should like, then blaming gamers when they don't buy it. Industry needs to make more needs to make games people want to buy. We need a bit of escapism. I could see what you're saying. 100%. Just give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry, my daughter needs a little assistance. What's cracking, babe? All right, sorry about that. All right, but yeah. So, yeah, back to what the Gina was saying. So, yeah, I 100% agree. Like, I feel like sometimes these video games try to take too much of what's going on in the real world and involve it into their game to make people kind of have this fake feeling of togetherness. And like it's not real. Like I guarantee there's plenty of racist, plenty of racist people that played as Miles Morales. They may have not loved it, but they did. There's plenty of pro-black only, black only this type of stuff that still purchased white-owned products. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild to think that that's not going to happen. We just need a little bit. I agree with the whole break thing though, because like we play video games to not be in real life, right? But at the same time, I feel like that's its own issue as well, because okay, now you're not being who you really are, right? Well, we'll look at X or Twitter, or anything like this, or like Facebook or whatever every day, right? People that are not who they really are saying all sorts of crazy stuff. So these lines that these game developers have to tread are scary. And I mean, let's just keep it a buck, right? Because we know this all comes down to money as well. You don't know who got paid for what to be in what, or to support whatever, or good for SBI for that, bad for SBI for this. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those like Spider-Man things where we're all pointing at each other as the problem, but we all don't really know what the problem really is. Man, it's tiresome. Let me get up out of here. I want to talk about something else. Man. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was talking about Call of Duty, and I got completely derailed when I seen Asha's post. Ended up talking about that for like dang near 45 minutes. Man. This is a scary looking picture right here, isn't it? What do you think when you see this picture? The Wii's dead, Wii U's dead, 3DS is dead, PSP. I mean, whatever. Xbox 360 is dead. And the PS3 really stayed on. After trying to shut down, no, let's not act like they didn't try to shut down the PS3 and the Vita. Let's not act like they didn't try to. Right? They tried to. They tried to, but the people said no. Xbox said, we're doing what the fuck we want. Love it or hate it. I buy physical 360 games though, so like I was never in the whole digital thing with the 360. Digital didn't start for me until the Xbox One PS4 generation. And for me, it was just the Xbox One. I didn't have a PS4. If I'm being frank. So like this doesn't bother me at all. Even if the PS3 stopped, I don't care. I mean, just for me, I don't care. I have physical. They made enough physical games for these consoles right here that it just doesn't matter to me. It's once you get to the Xbox One and the PS4 and now the PS5 and the series consoles, those are kind of scary because those are like digital, all digital. At least for me, it's like 99% digital. I got like 1% of each of those consoles. I got physical. Same with the Switch. I got like 4 Switch games physical. Everything else is digital. So that's kind of scary. But then again, nope, it's just scary. You just gotta hope that back catalog is able to like they were talking about, what's her name, Sarah Bond, and Sony was also talking about like a backwards compatible team, and they were talking about forwards compatibility with Sarah Bond and stuff like that. And I think that that's amazing, and I hope that continues, and they figure out a way to simply be able to continue to bring your old games. And I know it's going more and more into emulation and stuff like that. Which that's what I heard about the 360 for the most part, is like the 360, because like what's his name, RGT, shout out to him. He was on an episode of Behind Them Sticks with me a while back, but he had a video right here that says, worried about the Xbox 360 store going down, fret not friends, a huge update was just made for Xbox 360 emulation, and is now even easier to play all of those Xbox 360 games than ever. And I'll show you the steps. Retweet for awareness. I didn't even like it. Whoops. I'll retweet it. There you go. So if you follow me on Twitter, you should be able to see this retweet if this is something that you're interested in. But yeah, that is definitely something to think about in the future going forward with games. Moving on to the next thing. Yes, I wanted to talk about this. What is up with this? The PlayStation VR 2, $200 cheaper than it was. Are we going to call this a fail or just a fire price drop? Which one are we going to call it? Is this a fail or a fire price drop? While you guys answer in the chat, I'm going to catch up on some of these. People are trying to inject their politics into the medium without ever opening one page of a comic. That's a fact. And they're doing the same thing with gaming and stuff like that. Like, you don't never play no video games, but you got all of the politics about it. Like, shut your ass up. Real shit. Let's see. Rachie says, when I see Master Chief, I want to fear him, not hug him. Oh, Lord. That's a W take right there. That's a W take. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to do that. Share this sucker out so other people see that I'm live. I appreciate you all for being here right now. Just catching up on a few of these chats, and then we're going to keep it moving, talking about this PlayStation VR 2. Maybe look up an article, possibly read about it and see what's going down. But Asha says Black Panther succeeded because the comics had an audience since the 60s and had a huge crossover appeal, unlike Captain Marvel. Sapo, did they really though? Just okay. You having a conversation with somebody. It just doesn't because okay. All right, and then the Gina says, I live in I live in mad diverse streets, have Welsh, English, Iranians, Indian, Chinese, Nigerian, and Romanian families. We all get along, go to each other's barbecue and out for drinks together every Christmas. It's unique. That is unique, which that is not everybody else's life. But I tell you what, that is something that you should hold on tightly to because that's amazing, the Gina. That is definitely not something everybody has the opportunity to be able to, share or be able to indulge in and enjoy. But like I said, it's still like just because I don't talk or see or I don't talk to every single person or whatnot. It's more or less, I'm just trying to say that there's a lot of people everywhere still. Like I know we all like to think that, one place is, this place is, this state is just white people everywhere. And, it'd be surprising if you run into a black person. That is very far-fetched nowadays. It really is. There's very few places that you'll go where you don't see black folks at. It's true. I mean, so many fake, so many fake truths out there that people are claiming. Oh, black folks don't like to swim. Have you been to the pool? Have you been to the pool? Shit. I remember I went to go visit Florida with my cousins, and they were making fun of me because I didn't know how to swim. I lived in Nebraska. I'm supposed to be living in the predominantly white area, right? I didn't know how to swim, but they did. Right? BS. People just like to say stuff. It don't make no sense. Sabo says, I emulate these games. The Guinness says fail. Okay. So you guys are talking about the price, the price decrease. So you guys are all calling it a fail. Yobi said it's a fire sale and it's a fail. Jeremy Brown, what's cracking? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, let's see if we can find an article on this. See what they got to say. I know Kotaku kind of ripped into it a little bit. We'll get to that article here in a little bit. But this article from, who is this from? I'm just trying to make sure. 9to5toys.com. Okay. It says massive PlayStation summer sale now live over 4,700 PlayStation 5 games. PSVR 2, $200 off and more. The official PlayStation summer sale is now in full swing with some particularly notable deals on both hardware and software. We were quick to out of the gate to highlight the most notable offers over the weekend, but you'll find all of the best PlayStation deals on tap right now in this feature post. While the annual days of play sale tend to offer the biggest and the best PlayStation deals at one time, the summer event is stepping in to, for the most part, serve up deals that are either just as good or in some cases better. Those include the best price ever on PlayStation VR 2, alongside solid price drops on PlayStation 5 consoles, accessories for them, and a host of first and third party PlayStation 5 games. All of the best PlayStation deals on tap right now are waiting below. Okay. So right here, they got the PlayStation VR 2, right? Remember, this thing was $550, now $350. This one was $600, now $400. Keep in mind, so I feel like they're trying to possibly target more of the PC audience, because they know the PC audience isn't going for no $550 or $600 headset that don't do HDR, and on top of that you got to get an adapter. So just keep that in mind, right? I just don't know. Like I definitely think that this will help the sales of it, but will it make it relevant enough for them to keep up on like just helping it continue through this console generation? I don't know. I really don't know. Let me go over to the chat. Asha says everything lives on PC forever. Jeremy Brown says it's Sony, so the media will always spin it into a W. Ham, finally, no Loke. Some sense in this channel. Laughing my ass off. Mad disrespectful, bro. Mad disrespectful. Jeez Louise. Jeremy Brown says that shit flop like a motherfucker. And Yobi says, okay, Yobi's talking to the Gino. Okay. So this isn't good. This doesn't look great, in my opinion. The drop of it for $200, like it's not a $50 drop. It's not a $25 drop. It's not even a $100 drop. It's a $200 drop in price. So like, you almost feel silly if you had bought one of these recently, right? Because you know Sony probably ain't gonna give you no discount. Man, can you think of the motherfucker that just bought this thing like a week or two ago? Or just think about the person that was like, yo. Think about the person that was that bought this and didn't really have a whole lot to play on it, and still doesn't have a whole lot to play on it, and sees that the price went down another $200. Yikes. That's a whole lot of games. That's damn near a whole Series S. So this is what the price really is, right? Is that what you're saying, Jeremy Brown? This is what the price really should have been from the jump, and this thing would have probably took off. Interesting to think about. Got all these damn tabs going. Let me get these out of here. Yeah, so I mean, let me look up the Kotaku article. All right. Because Kotaku came at it sideways. You know how they roll. Wild. Right here, there it is. It says PlayStation VR 2 is $200 off in desperate fire sale. Yo. It says the PlayStation, the PS5's virtual headset is discounted to its lowest price yet. It's no secret that the PSVR 2 headset has struggled since launch back in 2023. It's wild to think.
You probably know this.
What the fudge? Yep. What was that? Okay, but anyways, it's crazy to think that this came out in 2023. It's crazy to think that this came out just over a year ago. And it is struggling. It said it's no secret that the PlayStation VR 2 headset has struggled since launching back in 2023, and the new sale makes those challenges clear. Sony is currently selling the PS5 accessory for $200 off. Normally $600 for the headset, controllers, and a copy of Horizon Call of the Mountain, the virtual spinoff of Horizon Zero Dawn. You can currently get a PSVR 2 bundle for just $400 through PlayStation Direct or retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and GameStop. You can also get just the headset and controllers for $350, which is getting a lot closer to the sweet spot for buying a VR boondongle. I never heard of that word, boondongle, in 2024. I've never heard. What the fuck is a boondongle? That's a wild name. It says the PSVR 2's lowest price yet, and exactly the kind of deal that might incentivize more PS5 owners to give it a try. Or it could be pitched to people who don't even own a console, but can still make use of it. Still make use of what has still been a widely praised headset for virtual gaming on PCs, thanks to the adapter coming out August 7th. I feel like it's so silly that they're giving the adapter like credit as if it did something. In my opinion, it was PlayStation that went out of its way to make sure that it wasn't compatible within the headset at the beginning. Like, you shouldn't need an adapter. You should just be able to plug it. I mean, do you need an adapter to play? Come on. Like, I understand maybe a special cord, but I don't understand an adapter box that you need. Like, it just sounds... It sounds like they just didn't put a lot of thought into it on PC until they realized that, yo, we really do need the PC bad. It says PSVR 2 is still a lot more expensive than the Meta Quest 3 when you factor in the hardware needs to run it, but a lot less than the Valve Index and Hive Vive, or I said Hive Vive, HTC Vive. Ever since it launched, there has been reports Sony is having a tough time getting people to care about the PlayStation VR 2. Earlier this year, Bloomberg reported that the company had paused production on any new units while it tried to clear out old inventory. It also seemed like Sony was really invested in trying to drive what? Oh, it didn't seem like Sony was really invested in trying to drive adoption either, between never officially cutting the price or teasing any further big first-party exclusives that would come to the platform. The lack of backwards compatibility with the original PlayStation VR on the PS4 didn't help either. I don't know why there is a baby's ass in my video. Still, PSVR 2 continues to get a few new games every month. Behemoth, a fantasy action game about slaying giant monsters, was shown back during the May State of Play and looked cool enough. What is this?
Yep.
What is that? Like, why does that happen? I hate that. The headset might be another warning that people aren't really ready for virtual reality yet, but in the meantime, maybe it can grow a decent PlayStation family accessory like the PS Portal. So, let me go on ahead and enjoy some of y'all's comments. The Gina says, if this was $200, I would consider buying it. Yikes, that's really cheap. The Gina says, Jeremy Brown says, that $200 decrease is its actual price. I read that earlier. The Gina VR, too expensive for the economy we are in. You're not getting the mass market adoption. Not at all. Not at all. You're right. People are all right. That's enough of that. That's enough of
Did you know
this.
we also print these?
That is enough of that. I'm tired of that just randomly making noise. Anyways, Jeremy Brown says only fools spent $500 plus on that VR set. They didn't learn from the first one. Yes, Ham, that's the real price. He doubled down on that shit. Sour Blow said it'll be back. That's exactly what I'm saying. What Kotaku they're trying to save face. Jeremy Brown says exactly. Sony did everything not to make it compatible. They treated like an Apple product. It's not an Apple product. Yeah, you know what? You hit that right on the button. They did treat it like an Apple product, as if like everybody was just gonna need it. Even Apple screwed up. Even Apple over-appled themselves with their own $3,500 headset, right? But Sony did it while also making you still attach to some sort of other device, which, you know, I get it. The types of games that PlayStation's trying to put onto the PlayStation VR 2 are going to need some sort of extra device to run them, right? I get that. But having absolutely no ability to be detached from it really makes it hard for somebody to even buy. I'd say even at like a $350, even at a $300 price point, I'd say it's still hard to really tell somebody, hey, you need this. But I could be wrong, you know, like maybe the PC community picks this up. I don't really know how the PC community moves as much as I could assume how well the console market would move. Sappho says the first thing that hurt you need a console or a PC. Exactly, that's what I'm saying right now. So you nailed it. Let's go on ahead and move on to one of the last topics before I get on out of here, because I don't want to stick around too long out here. Just a second. Oh, why is this like this? Ooh, yeah. I definitely wanted to talk about this. So Activision, I don't know if you guys seen, but they recently like put out a whole like Bible pretty much for skill-based matchmaking. Let's see if we can find it by looking up skill-based matchmaking Bible. Yeah, right here. So check this out. Check this out. You guys tell me how you feel about this. Gotta enlarge it because my eyes stink. Or they're not as good as they were. I'll tell you that much. All right, so right here it says Activision just released a skill-based matchmaking Bible that reveals all. Activision has just published a document online titled Matchmaking Series: The Role of Skill in Matchmaking, which blows the lid off skill-based matchmaking. This much needed, much debated mechanic that's designed to keep players engaged in Call of Duty for as long as possible. This expansive, revealing document spends 25 pages of breaking down the concept of skill in the overarching skill-based matchmaking model, with Activision's team confirming what skills are examined by the mechanic. Oh, and they revealed the secret experiment that took place to see how players performed with massively lower levels of skill-based matchmaking. Everything is revealed in a sizable document published by Activision. One of the biggest contributors to skill-based matchmaking is Discuss Skill. The opening pages of the document revealed that skill is calculated using 3 criteria: match total kills, kill death ratio, kills deaths by enemy. The last one is clever, as it enables Activision to give you accurate skill reading regardless of self-killing deaths. That means that players can't break skill-based matchmaking by repeatedly killing themselves to drop their KD artificially. That team went in depth about the various tests they performed over the years to continually refine skill-based matchmaking. In 2024, Activision performed a secret experiment of Modern Warfare 3's dropping the skill metric from skill-based matchmaking for thousands of players to see how it panned out. The test was run for an entire month, during which players would have been matched with more random against competitors. In a report discussing, screen moved. Okay, in a report discussing the findings of this experiment, Activision noted that with reduced skill considerations and the skill-based matchmaking mechanics, 90% of players suffered from a reduced returning player rate. Put simply, when lobbies were more randomized and skill wasn't taken into considerations, players quickly abandoned games and took long to return. Further, the team tracked an increase in quit rate in 80% of all players taking part in the secret test, which is a huge figure. It proves that players get increasingly frustrated when skill-based matchmaking isn't as strong as it should be. There you go. That's something to think about right there. So, I mean, obviously they're saying, yo, when you're just teamed up with whoever the fuck, it stinks. And people leave a lot more. Remember how much people were talking about, what was that, X Defiant, and how it like didn't have skill-based matchmaking or whatnot, and how that was a great thing. and then we all started complaining about, the meta with certain things and whatnot. And I felt like a lot of us didn't know whether we were playing versus somebody that was good at the game or if we were playing versus a cheater or something like that. So it just made it more confusing for all of us at the same time. But continuing on, it says, again, Activision pointed out that the first thing the matchmaking process looks for is geolocation, matching players with other gamers that are close to them geographically. Then the system considers skill using a player's percentile rating. Percentile rating to match them with closely aligned users. Then the player desired control schemes are considered. There was an interesting scenario outlined by the term that shows how matchmaking works when you queue with talented players. Take, for instance, a party of 2 players, Alice and Bob. Bob is an average player with 50% skill percentile, and Alice is an elite player with 99% skill percentile. If we match make them both, Bob's skill, Alice is practically guaranteed to be the best player in every lobby they join, more than if she played solo. If we match make on Alice's skill, then Bob will likely be the worst player in every lobby they join. Thus, we must match them in the middle, such the worst player gets some opportunity to equal footing while minimizing the inherent advantage of the better players. That sounds just like a mess, especially if people are playing around, obviously, with. But I'm wondering now, like, if you can't like self kill yourself in the games to keep your KD like low or whatnot. What do you like? Just using like a sock account and just going into the game and just letting your player repeatedly die, like letting it just run into walls and stuff like I don't know how people do the cheating and stuff like that. I'm not a cheater, so I don't know this stuff. But I mean, it's kind of interesting to think of all these different variables that they have to use just to keep people in line. So it's terrible. But it says, ultimately, this is the deepest dive we've ever done. We've ever had into how skill-based matchmaking works. While it's understandably being tweaked all the time, the fundamentals have remained the same for years. It's nothing short of interesting for Call of Duty fans and pro players. So there is that. More of an explanation on skill-based matchmaking and why we have it. So there is that, y'all. And I think with that being said, I'm going to go on ahead and work on getting out of here. And hopefully next week I can come through and have this very similar show. And hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show as much as I enjoyed putting it on for you. It was nice to get away from all of the political stuff and whatnot that has been kind of going on Twitter and even on this channel a little bit for the last few weeks. So I just wanted to do that. But thanks everybody for stopping through. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. This is your boy Hamsolo05 Gaming signing out from TSWS Gaming. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out.